Howdy folks, Grok the DuckFarmer here. I'm playing Feed the Beast Evolution here on the FTOG server, and I'm on Floating Island, because of course I am. When I finished the last episode, I was making, I think, my first of the Eternal Stellas, and using that I could make some things unbreakable. And I made a flint and steel unbreakable because I was using that enough, and I said, why not have one that doesn't break? Same with a pair of shears, because I've got the shears from the mystical agriculture that are unbreaking, but quite often some of the non-vanilla leaves, as I try to break them and shear them off, they just break. But with the permanent eternal pair of vanilla shears, those work great for getting me the non-vanilla leaves, and I like to build with them, so that's why I did that. The problem is I have one of these XP orbs left. That's it. So one of the things that I would like to do in the next little while is get the resources to get more of those, which is why I'm standing up here on a new island. It's way up near build height. In fact, we're right there at build height. These guys work best the higher up they go, but you can't build them above build height. So that's why they are where they are. Anyway, we'll turn that off. And one of the things that you notice, if you listen really closely, do you not hear that? You're not hearing the windmill noises because I turned that off. That's one of my favorite things, is having this be able to turn the wind generators off. Otherwise, yeah, you hear that wind. Mechanism has some very annoying sounds in it. And if you make a mod where you make an add-on to muffle the sounds that you've added, the sounds are dang annoying. So anyway, so what I wanted to do, these generate about 2K power. It is not very much. It's a little bit less than that, but it's okay. I'm wanting to fill up my matrix down below, and so I'm wanting to boost up some of the power that I'm generating. So one of the things that I wanted to do was plop something in here from Powah. In fact, I want to sit there and make a reactor. And one of the things that's nice with these reactors, you feed them stuff. Here, let's click this one. You feed them uranite and some sort of charcoal, carbon, something there, redstone, and dry ice, and all of that makes for power. And I love how it has this option here where you can turn on the, what's the term for it? I think it's the auto mode. Yeah, when auto mode is on, when the power drops below 70%, it turns on. And then when it's full, it stops. And that way it's not constantly running while full generating power that goes nowhere. That's useless. Real power stations shouldn't do that because you're losing money. Anyway, we need water, dry ice, uranite, some sort of carbon. I'm using coal because I have gobs of that, and redstone because I've got lots of redstone. And then the reactors, if we look at the recipe for that, uranite, tiny capacitors and whatnot. I'm not sure if that's the real recipe. In any case, I got, as a reward, I got 36 of these. It was the basic reactors. And so I said, oh, cool. I really wasn't thinking of making one, but they gave me that. And so you just upgrade them to the various powers. And so now nitro being the highest, if we look at the power generation of that all the way up to nitro, it's generating 500,000 FE a tick, which is a lot of FE. And that definitely beats my I'm doing about 22,000 a tick. So that's way better. Anyway, so I've got here my reactor, and I love this mechanism where you can just build it wherever you want. And if again we check, this is all within a chunk, and so I'm going to keep it up here. Since we got these up here already, I could put the power generating stuff up here. Why not? And then this just places all the blocks. Now it's a 3x3x4 solid cube, so this is not a hard structure to make, but that's so nice. It just did the work for me. Up here is where the output goes. So I'm going to grab this ender cell, and I'm going with the ender cell. I have one that's the one tier below spirited, but it has a transfer rate of 400k, and this is making 500. So I would never transfer it fast enough. This has a transfer rate of now I'm trying to think, what is it that it's got the transfer rate for? Well, we look here. Yeah, 2 million in out. So way more. And then the other thing I need to do, yep, I'm going to plop these guys in place. Where did you get power? Here, I'm going to put the auto mode on. Oh, I need water. I need B. I need to click here. I need to grab some water. And I just go gush. Now this should make it a lot more effective in generating power. Right now it's 400. It's not quite all the way up there because the uranite's low. So what I'm going to do is, I think that's what I need. If I have, what happened to my, I don't have my piece. Let me drop down here. Bonk, bonk. And I had over here, there it is. See, it's got the fuel and stuff that it needs. So let's go upstairs again. And here's where, if I could fly up faster, I would be happier. Almost always, creative flight is slower going up and down than left to right, which is super annoying to me. Oh, okay, I could understand going up would be difficult, but going down should be easier if going up is difficult. But it isn't. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is drop here. I'm going to drop this there, and oh, it's filled up and it's stopped. Oh, are you not going up? Well, let's do this piece here first. I'm going to put down this item pipe. Let's make it extract. I doubt that I need much by way of speed. You know, I really don't. That's already filled it up. I don't even need to use this upgrade because these are going to go change by ones at a time. So that definitely helps. And you can see this is automatically filled with the bits I need. And since the dirt never goes anywhere, cool. That's cool. That gets this set up. I need to configure this bad boy. The bottom one, let's make it set up for extract. So the power from here, then the power comes out. Is that power? I think. Wow. Okay, be careful when you vein mine. That was not so good. Let's go ahead and do that again. Now I need to get some more water. If only I had some way of getting water. That would be really handy. There we go. Go for it. And we can put this bucket back there. Now I've got water back again. Can I just click you there? Yes, that works. Or right-clicking it also worked. Let's set you to this. I would like to have... no, I don't want to extract. I want to... Oh, I guess extract is the right one. I wanted to extract out from there. All right. And then... why are you not... I guess this one needs... That's the front. So that's north, west, down. Okay, which direction is that? That's east. Okay, let's look for east. There's the east. And I want to set... That's just weird. Okay, let's put you in there, and you in there, and you in there. And I'm going to break you and replace you. Why you know... Because it was there. Okay, let's break you. Break you. Huh. Okay. Are you seeing that too? Let's take power and actually let's turn this. No, I actually want the power to be off. Let's go ahead and that stopped it. Okay, good. That's exactly what I want. So if this is set on the east to extract, and I put this guy down here, and I want it on this one, and I want it to receive on the west. Receive. There we go. That's what I want. I want it to receive the power from where is this power coming from? Oh, and now it's going away. Okay, okay. So that's going into the system. Oh, that may be because when I toggled it to extract. All right, so everything from here, yep, that's all gone. This should be pumping the results into this ender cell on channel 2, and that should be pumping it then into the matrix down below. All right, that's what it's supposed to be doing. And then I want to, well, that works there. Okay, I've got to set this up here. Well, let's grab my little configurator. Doink. And then this should start dumping stuff into there. Yeah, this is the only thing that really needs it. Oh, I guess the dry ice also needs one. There we go. Now it's full, and then my AE2 system is going to make sure that this is also full. So we should be always good. So now if I turn this back on, redstone, ignore redstone. I should put a redstone something here. Now, what are you talking about? This is the temperature. And how are you? It's not generating 100%, which I'm okay with that. But as this goes down and back up, it should change. I wonder, no, this shouldn't matter. Anyway, this is producing a heck of a lot more power, which is very nice. That will keep track of that. Let's fall back down, avoid the cats. All right, just barely missed Millie there. And if we go upstairs, I went ahead and set up the same ender chest here, and this exporter has these 4 items that it needs. And you know, if you look at that, and that's the top, that's obviously flag colors. You know, white, green, red. Bulgaria. Everybody knows that. So I did the red for redstone, the green for the uranite, and the white for the dry ice, because that way I didn't have to find my black dye to do, you know, the coal. So I looked at that and said, that's got to be a flag. And I had to rack my brains for a second before I said, oh yeah, Bulgaria. Anyway, so now I have a heck of a lot more power going in. And in fact, if we look, yeah, input, it's bouncing between, you know, 200 or 410 and 430K going in, which is much better. And I'm not even at 10% yet of the storage. Will I use all this? No. Am I having fun generating it? Yes. Does it take a lot of tick? No. No, it does not. So I'm okay with doing that. If I find it does a whole lot of tick, then I'll go ahead and get rid of it. In fact, I will probably up there those turbines, because they're producing, you know, such a tiny percentage of this now that it makes no sense to even have them there anymore. So I'll get rid of them. That reactor is doing so much more, and that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So other things that I wanted to do, I wanted to get into actually additions a little bit. Let's see, checking in on checking. I just added some chests on this, so that wasn't a change. But actually additions, I had made the atomic reconstructor earlier, and I like it being on pulse mode, because that way I can just send it a single redstone signal and it'll send a beam and does what it does. But I made this, the lens of disenchanting. If we take a look at the recipe for that, enchanting lens, that's super cheap, not a problem. If we go back one, diamantine crystal is diamonds run through the reconstructor. And you could do it as a solid block, and that will go ahead and change it. But the lens of disenchanting is really handy, because I've got a pick here. It's got fortune, that's 7, unbreaking 7, boon of the earth 4, and miners for 5, and then miners for 4. So if I toss these out here, let's turn off my magnet real quick. I grabbed it too soon. And then I go to. This is the part where you get zapped. Okay, are you not in the way? You. Oh, maybe it's too many books. Let's try, come back, here you go. Let's try a single book and a diamond pickaxe. Are you in the same block? It doesn't look like it. Okay, let's try in this. No, that didn't work either. Let's just put it right up next to it. You there, and one single book. There we go. So it stripped off one of the spells. In fact, yeah, that could do some weird things. Yes, it does. What if I put 2? No, no, it looks like it really just wants the one. Interesting. It's been a long time since I've used this to strip enchantments, but for right now, this is the only method I've got, and this way I can enchant something and strip it all off. And now I've got books for Unbreaking 7, Fortune 7, some good enchants there. I can re-enchant that pick, and then I can start building up. So I could take the Fortune 7 here. If I get a second Fortune 7, put them together, it's now a Fortune 8, which is super, super cool. Anyway, the Diamantine, it was empowered Diamantine. If we look at the recipe again for this, our empowered Diamantine crystals. Well, to empower that, you need this little doolywiki here, where you've got an empowerer in the center, which doesn't need power, and you've got these display stands on the sides, which do. Why not call them like empowered display stands? I don't know. Those little sparkly things tells me that I've got the right things going around the edges, and the power is being consumed from here, and is empowering this palace crystal block, which is just lapis that's been changed with a reconstructor. And I'm waiting for it to go bling. Oh, you're taking your sweet old time to do this. There we go. Now this is empowered. And well, if we look at the uses for this, it just breaks into that. It looks like there's nothing interesting for that. But if we break these down, there we go. I just completed the chapter. If we look at this, that's what I was looking for. Greenhouse glass is something that Actual Editions brings into the pack. And so what I might do is build a 9x9 layer of this greenhouse glass, which means I need 40 of these done. So I got plenty of saplings. That's not a problem. Plenty of glass, but I need 40 of these. So I need to convert this, 5 times. Not a problem. Can do. But I can put that greenhouse glass way up at build height, and that will affect my mystical agriculture crops down below, which is cool. Do I really need to do that right now? No. Will I do it? Probably. I'm going to dump this away there, and I don't need you here. But I do want to go up and grab a few levels. Let's grab 20, because why not? One of the other things I crafted from Actual Editions was this XP solidifier here, or experience solidifier. And I was thinking I'd have to stand on it. Nope, you just right click it, and I'm going to say all. And there we go. I just got 20 levels worth and a little dribble left here. 68 of these crystals. And if we look at the uses of these crystals, oh, hey, I can make more of my petrified orbs. And so that's the Actual Edition bits. I've got the experience essence from Mystical Agricultural. The greater experience gem from Ars Nouveau. And if we look at this, I can convert it from these 4. And if we look at that, I can get that from the greater. As near as I can tell, these are actually crafted when Ars Nouveau does a mob farm and kills the mobs. So I'm going to have to set up a quick little mob farm to do that. I'm thinking that's the case. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's the case. Anyway, you can go away, and this I'm going to get some water, and then nope, wrong key. B and V are so close to each other, I'm constantly hitting the wrong ones. All right, so we'll put that away so I've got water on me all the time. And why didn't I put my wrench away at the same time? There, we can just put those away. All right. So that's taken care of. Some fun stuff getting this done. There's far more in the the chapter for the actual editions. There's a bunch of more lenses. There's stuff you can build with these various empowered bits. I'll play with those, but that's not what I'm looking for right now. Instead, what I want to do is grab an ender pearl, and if you have a beehive, and I just happen to have a beehive here, you can just throw an ender pearl in there and go into the Bumblezone. And you're probably saying, Bumblezone, what the heck is the Bumblezone? Well, this is the Bumblezone. It is a bee-infested area, and I really, really suggest that you take a look at Fractured Flask's video, because he actually did an exploration of the Bumblezone, and I'm not going to duplicate that, but there's honey, there's these filled porous honeycomb blocks, there's just your regular honeycomb blocks. There's also some that are non-filled, and I'm looking around for these right here. These are, oh, that's filled. That's porous. Okay, so having these two are cool. And then you also have these brood blocks, and there's bees hiding in there. And if you hit them, yay, interdimensional access. Honey. Let me go ahead and grab a bit of honey here. And what I just got there was the top one, protection of the hive. So it's maybe 80 seconds of the bees like you. And doesn't matter, because I've got my soul of dimensions. They never attack me. I could just run around and I could punch them and kill them, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Oh, I'm going to take off my helmet so the night vision goes away. Let's put you away. Because this is a fun dimension. It's quite tall. In fact, you can't even see the roof from here. Oh, there we go. It's a little dimmer now, but it's a quite tall dimension. I like the look of it. It does have a roof and a floor like the Nether, and tons of bees. And there are some bees. Most of these are just the vanilla type bees running around. I did find a couple variations on this, like a blue banded bee. I also found an emerald bee. I'm trying to remember. A skeleton bee, a slimy bee, and an emerald. I found an emerald bee. So they are all around here. And I just noticed that there's some spider webs down here. Yep. This is one of the spider areas. Yeah, I've got some flares tossed around from my mage lights. What color is it? Oh, endercomb. And there's all these resources in here, or these resource comb blocks that you can process. But tons and tons of spiders coming out of here. There we go. Hello, spider. Do you want to come over here and die? No, he's going the other way because he's smart. Oh, nope. Now he's a dummy. Hey, you want to come over here and die? Whee! Oh, he survived. Oh, yeah, you can see there's a bunch of webs down there, the strings from where they had fallen and died before. But the bees don't like them, so they'll come down, they'll attack. There he goes. One dead spider. Anyway, so there are a bunch of different things. Like I said, check out Flask's video on exploring this. There's some fun building blocks here. And let me go back home, because I wanted to get into some bee breeding. And what does that mean? Of course, I needed a new bee island. In fact, I got several here. Well, this is one of the structures from the there in the Bumblezone that I copy pasted and pulled away, because I said I kind of like how that looks. They have different colored stripes here, and the stripe just didn't come through. And I don't know how to get that color on there, but so it's brown. But anyway, I've got myself a little building here. I started out very regular on a grass island, and then as I got blocks, a whole bunch of these different blocks, I started replacing it and making it more fun looking in here. So this is my my bee area, and quest wise, there's the end piece from the quest. Lots and lots of trades with the queen bee. Go check out Flask's video. It's in the link there in the description. But what I've got here are some birch beehives that I made with the expansion box on them, and then a feeding slab here in the floor in front of them. And this one has got emerald bees in it. So if I grab, wrong key, V, not B. If I grab an emerald block, I think it's what I'm looking for. Emerald. Yeah, I'll just grab an emerald block. I don't have any emerald ore listed here. Or do I have it in here? I do have an emerald ore in here. Never mind. I'm going to go ahead and place that emerald ore right there. These now will spend some time generating emerald. Put that away. In fact, if I go, let's speed these two up immensely. So they're generating for me the emerald combs. And if I have bottles here, I will get honey bottles and honeycomb from them too as they fill this up. But right now they're not. Oh, we've got a little bit of a pollen puffed out of there. I have Ender IO conduits underneath here feeding into this Ender chest. And so that just stores these away for me. Over here, I've got ender bees that I picked up from the end. I picked up a pair of them so I could breed them. These generate for me ender pearls. And over here is, oh, there's my one and only diamond bee. Are you an adult? It's an adult now. Good, because I just bred them. So that's something that I can definitely do. In fact, let me go in here and grab this chorus. And I'm going to put that right there. And I won't do the full 256 on that, but this will start generating the ender combs far slower. Okay, fine. Go. Also chorus fruit in there. So I don't have any speed upgrades on these. These are quite slow as far as pulling stuff out. Let's grab those and dump them into here. There we go. That's faster. Anyway, so these are working on that. I don't have the diamond block here because I haven't set that up for it. Other stuff, armor from there. We've got a crystal cannon. There's also a bee cannon. This is the stinger spear, and you can see the durability is down low. One of the quests is to kill the wither with just that. Yeah, it's fun. This is the throne pillar to find the queen bee. You got to hunt through all the various areas and the structures, and there's compasses that'll help you find those structures. And inside those, there are honeypots that you can open up that occasionally have these compasses in them. I don't think that's hooked into the looter mod, so I left a lot of stuff in there. But one of the things that was really good in there were these buzzing briefcases. And I was really happy to get them because if I crouch right click these, I can hold bees in here up to 14 bees, which is great. These are just BBBs. So, you know, they're just BBs. Those are my original bees. What do we have in here? Yeah, these were ones that I had bred most of these up. So glowing bee, I bred that. Here, let's show you what you can do. Click there. Backspace, backspace. Glowing bee. To get the glowing bee, you need a glowstone nest, which is just glowstone plus a wooden sword. And what does this says? Attract must be placed in the nether to attract bees. So then I put that in the nether and I shift right clicked with glowstone dust, and it was something like 1200 seconds to spawn a bee. Well, pretty fast if you use your temporal pouch to kick it up to 256. Out came the glowing bee, and I grabbed that using the sturdy bee cages. Now you can make these bee cages, not hard at all, but these break as soon as you use them. But as I was looting various chests, whenever I spotted a sturdy bee cage, I snagged it, because these keep getting reused, which is fantastic. Let's look. Chocolate mining bee, that was one I found someplace. Neon cuckoo bee, that's an interesting one. And Middle Claw and I were having issues with that. Neon. Okay, so there's the neon cuckoo bee. And if we look at this sneaky bee will lay its eggs in nests belonging to the blue banded bee. So I had 4 of these acacia nests, and I had them set up over here, hit them with, I think it was well, let's put that back there. That was a weird duplication that didn't duplicate it. Anyway, if I hit U on these, if I want to bee spawn, use this honey treat, Pretty easy to get that. You can also loot them if you really want. But I went ahead and that makes just the blue banded bee. With no other type of bees. That's why I went with acacia. I bred up 4 of these blue banded bees, and I just let them sit here against the wall. And over time, when I came back after AFKing, 2 of them had been replaced with the neon cuckoos. So, and you could be saying, okay, why do I need that? Well, if I hit U on this and bee breeding, the neon cuckoo plus crystalline bee gives me a mineral bee. I haven't bred that one up yet. Neon Cuckoo and the Sugar Bear gives me a Peptol Beesmol. I have no idea what that will produce. This does this Sugar Honeycomb. Uses on this. Yeah, I doubt I'll generate that one. But what I did want, this down here, Osmium Bee. That way I have a good source of osmium for that. There's another one over here. This is the iridium bee. So neon plus the crystalline gives me a chance for iridium. And I did some of these breeds, and they didn't always give me what I wanted, especially trying to get iron. I kept getting tin and copper. But this, the breeding chamber, makes life so much easier. I've got a lapis bee here, a skeletal bee here, and that gave me a dye bee. In fact, if I take this, and if we shift, it's a child. They don't age in there, but if I drop it in here, now it's in here, it's a child. After 20 minutes or so, it will grow up and be an adult. Let me snag that back out. That goes into the storage drawers, and since I don't have a drawer for my sturdy bee cage, it means that doesn't go away. I can pull it back up again. This thing, there's 2 different recipes for these. It keeps giving me dye bee. What if I switch you guys around? No. I have to see if I can figure out how. I may have to breed these manually. Okay, lapis bee, and what's this one here? The skeletal bee. So if I hit U for trades, if I hit up here U for trades, then or recipes, there's the dye bead. Oh, okay, I need a completely separate bee. Lapis plus ender bee will give me more diamond bees. Lapis plus emerald bee will give me experience bees. Okay, I might, I'm not sure which experience this will generate for me. Centrifuge. XP fluid. Okay, so that's a way of getting XP fluid if I use that for things. Cauldron imbuing. Okay, so if I go into Pagan Bliss, I'll need that. Oh, hey, that's a way of making balls of enchanting. Cool. Okay, so that may be one thing I could go ahead. Oh, that uses a lot of different XP fluids. Very nice. So that's what I'm doing a lot of, and there's just one other thing that needs to be done. And what is that one thing that has to be done? Well, build me a base in the Bumblezone, of course, and floating islands. And I was glad to see this biome here with the Crystal Canyon, because it gave me a nice area to build me a base. And using mostly resources here from the Bumblezone, there are places that are using these cherry trees with the grass and flowers around them. So I put one of those in here. I using the copy and paste gadget, I was able to sit there and copy some of these structures and paste them onto my base. And then I went ahead and made a very small, very simple little base building here using the sugar blocks that you can find in a few places, and just kind of set up something that's kind of goldenish themed, where you got some honey here, some tables for people to sit, structures, lots of little shelving. Here we got the honey, sugar water, and then a nice little area back here to actually take a nap and sleep, and all that good stuff. So do I plan on spending much time here? No, I don't. But I wanted to have something that was a nice looking little base, and building floating islands, even honey flavored floating islands. It's too much fun. Anyway, the Bumblezone is a blast. The last time I played with it, it pretty much was just to get a few blocks. There were a couple bees that I could get, but there was no quest line interior to the mod that I did anything with. and I'm glad to see it was there. It was fun to do, and I definitely encourage you to go ahead and try that as well. You're either going to need a bunch of sugar bottles or honey bottles so that you can get the defense of the hive, the thing that stops the bees from getting you, or if you've got the talisman that stops them from attacking, that's very handy too. And that's what I've got right now. Anyway, there's been Grok the Duck Farmer here, playing in Bumblezone and with the bees here with Feed the Beast Evolution on the FTOG server, and having a blast. And the color palette is quite orangey yellow. That's why I had to add some green in here just to make it look better. And thanks for watching. Bye.